Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on another episode of the Handle That Podcast. Today is a very special day because it's not just a podcast episode, it's also a simulcast between the Handle That Podcast, Abdul Aesthetics, the YouTube channel, both my channels, and the channel that my father and my younger brother have. It's called Jaleel and Daddy 2.0. That's Jaleel Daddy 2.0. And, you know, today's episode is going to be all about, you know, the importance of black business ownership, black business investments, and the black power base. You know, and if you've been following the channel, if you've been following the podcast, you know I don't like using the term black, but for lack of a better word, you know, the community as a whole, that is what this episode is going to be about, because you can see that they've brought a few items that have to do with, as you can see, this book right here says Black Billionaires, Black Millionaires, or Billionaires of Tomorrow. It really don't matter. And let me get that bad boy out the way. And you know, we just want to give more insight, and it's going to be more of a learning experience for me because I don't know that much about it. So I'm going to let them take over, with introductions and tell us everything that they got to tell us.
Hello, YouTube fans, and welcome. Hello, YouTube fans, and welcome to a special Jaleel and Daddy 2.0. We are here with my big brother, Jabbar Jr., and his YouTube channel, Abdul Aesthetics. Today, we will be talking about the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow Study Guide by Dr. Boyce Watkins. Take it away, Dad.
Thank you, Jaleel. Hello, everyone, and this is extremely special simulcast here. I'm super excited. I am Daddy of Jaleel and Daddy 2.0, and also his father. And man, it's just great that both of these guys have a platform that I can be a part of for one. And so yes, Jabbar and I and Jaleel have been talking for quite some time, and we wanted to present something to both audiences, well, actually three times that case, for the podcast, Handle That Podcast, Abdul Aesthetics, Jaleel and Daddy 2.0. And what we have here is the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow Study Guide bundle by Dr. Boyce Watkins. And I believe it's extremely important for our children now to be able to learn how to invest money, learn what investments are about. And what we have in these bundle sets is, there are three books that come in the bundle sets. They are the one on money, the one on stocks, right here. We have the one on investing. Okay, it also comes, if you get the bundle, comes with the flashcards for the kids. Man, it's amazing. And the first one is on money, And what you have here is something that's offered to our children that wasn't around when I was a kid. It wasn't around when his brother was a kid. It's a big age difference there. And it's so important, vitally important, for us to prepare our children for a most, competitive economic future. And so what we have here, along with these bundles, some other books as well, from the Black Business School. I'm a part of the Black Business School offered by Dr. Boyce Watkins for me to learn how to invest, how to buy real estate, and these things. I encourage everybody to check that out. Dr. Boyce Watkins, Black Business School. And, of course, this is BMOT, the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow for the kids. So today it's all about the kids. And we also have, you can get this, also it's the activity book on young entrepreneurs.
Right.
And also another great activity book. And these are definitely geared for kids who ain't even in school yet. Okay, your 4, 5-year-olds, because what we have here with the bundles, they start from 1st to 3rd grade. They also go from 1st to 3rd grade, 4th and 5th grade, then middle school, and after middle school, high school. So they take care of all of the kids of school age level. And actually what I found is I'm learning as I'm trying to teach him. So it went from, well, for me, it went from teaching him to learning with him, which I believe is best.
Because I know for a fact, once I get into it, it's going to be like something brand new, like I'm still in school.
Yes.
Because I don't know too much about it. I know a lot about saving,
right.
but I don't know too much about investing. But I want to ask you, excuse me, it's just that term, Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. We both grew up in non-ideal situations. And, one thing that a lot of people take for granted is the sponge-like mind that a child has.
Right.
So, in our community, a lot of the more negative things are taught to us at a younger age, so that we become kind of numb to it as we get older. But just that term, it just stuck out to me because the only time I knew a black person to be a millionaire, got to be an athlete, you got to be an actor, you got to be in some type of the entertainment field. Right. When in all actuality, you could be the man or the woman who owns the entertainment field, who gives the actors and the athletes jobs. Right. But we just, that's something we weren't taught. Right. So I'm assuming that this is going to teach us how to go about that.
Yes. That's an awesome point in the question. Right. Sit up, sir. Because it's like you said, it's what we've been programmed. It's we become a product of the environment. Right. More so. And even when, you're not breaking the law or whatever, but it's still a mindset. So what I found as I grew into learning how to invest money, because I'm literally just starting. Okay, I've worked, for 30, I think this year going to be 34 years working, guys. Wow. 34 years, okay? Wow. I mean, literally with taking money out of my check for Social Security type job.
This is my 12th consecutive year of work.
I got to tell you that, when I started working, the year was 1987. I had no idea of this. My parents didn't have an idea of this. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we have access now. So with that access, we have an opportunity to change the narrative to benefit ourselves. Right. So even the term Black Millionaires of Tomorrow, or I'm part of the Black Business School, I'm actually enrolled in the Black Business School in certain courses, fraction of what it costs to go to college, y'all. Yeah. And it really pays dividends because I literally am doing well in my investing. To that, it's just a sense of taking the narrative from anything negative and turning it into your own positive. Okay, because like it or not, and I struggle with this. You and I have had plenty of conversations on the term black, and I prefer melanated and all of that. I really do. Yeah. However, this is the term that we are grouped under in this government, in the society, and you don't have to put energy into it or not. However, as Dr. Claude Anderson says, I brought the Power Knowledge book because I'm a big fan of Dr. Claude Anderson. We either play as a team for success or we lose by default. Right. We can get into what we want to call, whatever we want to call ourselves, once we become successful. Right. And I truly believe, like program like this is a way, not only, because it takes a lot to change an adult's mindset. Yes. It takes a lot. Yes. However, if we provide this nutrition, I believe this is like spiritual food for the children. It is. Okay. Let's allow that to help them grow. For instance, Jaleel, before you answer this, there are acronyms that he has for all of the age groups. And the one he has for 1st to 3rd grades is COST. So Jaleel, tell me what does the acronym COST mean?
C is for contribute.
Speaking to the mic.
C is for contribute.
All right.
O is for ownership. S is for save and invest.
Mm-hmm.
T is for target.
So, you know, the base principle behind these acronyms
Right.
is just like you said, cost. You know, we may not think about it too deeply. However, it's probably because we just hadn't been taught to think of it a certain way. So the C for contribute. Everyone can contribute to the community.
Right.
Everybody can contribute to things that will help your community grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rather it be church or whatever you're into, Salvation Army, you know, elderly people in the family or wherever. Ownership, encouraging young black kids to own businesses. Start them off instead of just sending them to school, get a good job, learn how to create a job.
Right.
Start to plant them seeds early. S, save and invest. You know, obviously, it's always important to know how to save, but do we really know how to invest or what it really is? What is investing?
Mm-hmm.
And the T for targeting. So now, at 8 years old, we put in mind, let's target black-owned businesses because it's the only way we, you know, strive together is together. You know, and let's start it early instead of just, you know, well, you know the old run-of-the-mill thing. Well, you know, you can't do business with black people. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's crazy you mentioned that. This is a very
Yeah,
But,
that's what I said then.
but what I've actually started doing, you know, but before we started recording the session, you know, I was talking about the smoothie place on the street.
Yes.
There's a black-owned smoothie place. There's a black-owned creamery. Mm-hmm. There's a black-owned burger shop. I told you about all three of these.
Right.
And what I was going to do with my channel, I was going to basically, you know, make it a reoccurring thing that, hey, I'm at such and such.
Right.
If you in the area, make sure to check them out. Hey, I'm about to get a burger. Check them out.
Right.
You know, because it's free of charge. I'm not charging them anything.
Right.
They're not charging me anything, you know, but even if it was something along those lines, I wouldn't mind doing it for free.
Right.
Because you have to understand that exposure is just as good as spending your money here.
Just as better.
If I don't know about your place, how can I spend my money there? Right. But as long as I know, hey, you know what? They got this black-owned place has such and such that I might want. Let me go check them out. Right. You know, we have like, we have like 12,000 thoughts a day or something like that.
Yes.
If you can push in a black-owned establishment into the thought process of the common man and the common woman, the what's the word I'm looking for? The opportunities are endless.
Endless.
You know, because we're kind of in a bad situation right now.
Sure.
Very bad situation.
I want us to think about this. You know, when it comes to the negativity, as far as black businesses, it's really mostly about the networking. Mm-hmm. We have the money, okay? We have the money.
Oh, we have the money.
We have the money, and this because we'll get money to do whatever we want. You know, and I mean, I can always throw you can get them Jordans or whatever's the latest brand or style. However, who are we giving those dollars to?
Right.
You know, and I believe right now more than ever, even if we're going to do it, think before we spend. Even before I go to Walmart, I think before I spend.
Right.
You know, obviously there's not a lot of black-owned grocery stores, you know, and what have you. I'm glad and happy and grateful there are more black businesses coming up. And, you know, I want to take the responsibility on to see what I can contribute, part of that COST, okay, and target in that, you know, how I can do my part in keeping a black business around. Because the way we get a grocery store is to piggyback off of the smaller black-owned business.
Right.
Okay? Because that's the way it's done. You don't have to label every other ethnic group. That's the way it's done. So to that, you know, I believe it's super important if you can teach kids how money works, how money grows, then when they get older, they'll be more inclined.
Right.
You know, so a bunch of us that collaborate in elementary, middle school, and selling candy together.
Yeah.
You know, shooting marbles, whatever. It was always working together. We had complete trust.
Right.
But for some reason, when we get older, you know, we don't tend to cling together because we are geared to go get a job. You know what I'm saying? Go to school, get a job, or get a trade, which is great. However, we also have an option of networking together, pooling our resources, creating business and industry.
Right.
You know, and unfortunately, as black people, we are the biggest consumers, black people in America, should I say. However, we produce really anything.
Right.
So that's lopsided on the economic scale.
Right.
And if we start with our children on learning the markets, the stock market, you know, the foreign markets, you know, matter of fact, you know, cryptocurrency is on the rise, and I think everybody who got Cash App knows that. Mm-hmm. All right. You know, pretty soon we're going to be a cashless society. Mm. So young kids like Jaleel, you know, he won't be dealing with cash the way you and I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now's the time, because this is the gateway right here. Okay? And there's so many other ways we could do this. I endorse wholeheartedly, and I'm not a paid spokesman, the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. This is so excellent. Your children will come out with a college degree, literally, each age level. Because right now, just like Jabbar had said, with this set right here, because we don't really know a whole lot about it, is where we could be, right here. Right. Everything in here is good for the young, because it's geared for them, but especially the adults who've never had the exposure to it. Mm. Okay? And it's working for me, because when I go through the lessons with him, you know, I learn, you know, a lot of the terminology. I guess some of the things I may have heard, but didn't know exactly what it meant and how it works. You know, what I own in stocks now, you know, I'm a part owner of this company. Right. I have a certain amount of equity in this company. Right. He learned that. Mm. You know what I'm saying? And so it's amazing. And now that builds up that confidence, that builds up your self-esteem and your understanding money, because, you know, you could have $5 to your name, right? But right now, I own 100 shares of Carnival stock. Mm. You know what I'm saying? They gave this story about Donald Trump, and I think it was him telling one of his older sons, when one of the times he went bankrupt, and there was a bum on the street getting money. And this is not to endorse Donald Trump, please. I'm just saying, that's what tell the story. However, he showed his young son almost 30 years ago. He said, you see that bum? And he just filed bankruptcy in their limousine in front of one of his properties. He said, you see that bum up there? He said, he got more cash than we got right now. He said, but who's better off right now? He asked his son, and his son was confused. Then his son asked him, I guess we are, because you talking to me. You know what I'm saying? He said, yes, we are, because we don't have one red dime, but we own this building. They can't take it away from me because I filed bankruptcy. Mm. All right? So, I mean, this is the kind of thing that we need to teach the kids. I wish to God I had it when you was his age 20 years ago. Yeah. You know, and so I encourage everybody now. You know, let's get involved with the process of understanding the new rules of money. And I am borrowing that term from Dr. Jewel Tankard, you know, because that's something she says all the time. Learn the new rules of money. And quite frankly, you know, we can sing songs about living check to check, but the reality sucks. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That lifestyle is definitely crap.
Yes, sir.
So the importance of, you know, investments and, you know, money as a whole, because the majority of the community, you know, the money is here today, gone today. It's not even gone tomorrow. It's here today, gone today. Right. And it's all about priorities. You know what I mean? It's all about where you want your money to go, and more importantly, what you want your money to do for you. Right. Do you want your money to make you more money, or do you want your money to disappear? Right. And you know, I've had, you know, we talk every day. I've had this conversation, you know, with a lot of cats in the community, and it seems as though I'm speaking Mandarin Chinese when I talk about, you know, the asinine, you know, or better yet, just the pathetic way that we spend our money. Right. You know, these, like, it's like the things you put on your body. Right. It's just like when you buy a car. What does the number one rule of buying, financing, or anything, a car, The minute you drive off the lot, the value depreciates by at least 25%. So if you paid $20,000 for this car, the minute the back of the car leaves the lot, it's already only worth $1,500.
Exactly.
$15,000. You know? So, you know, I talk and I say, you know, maybe if you were to put your money into this instead of putting your money into that, you'd be better off.
Right.
But hey, I can't tell people what to do with their money. And it's all a mindset, man. It's all a mindset. And I really think it definitely falls back to the fact that we have no identity. Yeah. We have no identity. We don't know where we truly came from. We believe everything that we've been told.
Right.
The only thing we know about our history is slavery.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is literally a drop of water out of the ocean of history that we really have.
Real history.
And I feel like if we were to uncover a lot of the things about our true history, a lot of things will become more clear. And things like investing and management and stuff like that will be a lot easier because I know where I came from. And it's going to be a conflict between what you now know and what you've always known. You know, and I feel like once those two come to bat, and then obviously, you know, what you learn will take over. Right. I really think that'll put us all in a better position.
Sure. Do you remember?
I do.
When you were a kid.
I do.
And you know, you didn't really care to rake leaves.
I hated raking. I still do to this day. You can't pay me enough to rake leaves.
And something to spark. I back then wrote you out some checks for you to cash. You remember that?
No.
You remember that? I wrote out the check, and so you would get $10 when you rake the leaves successfully and all this stuff.
Right.
And you cash it because it was back when we had the Credit Union Clown Club.
I remember that.
Okay, you remember that?
I remember that.
So I wrote some checks. I still got it inside my top drawer.
Really?
Checks that I wrote you 20 years ago. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. And so this is why
almost 30.
I thought about this. A lot of it, what you're saying, because of the values are out of place. And, you know, we are, unfortunately, most of us are educated by entertainment, like you were saying earlier. Okay, so, you know, when do we get some kind of value system and structure, you know, that we all, you know, can come around, gather around, so we can distinguish what is entertainment, what is reality. You know what I'm saying? Now, every other ethnic group, essentially, this is how they carry on with their children. They do it with their children. And unfortunately, you know, not all of us, but too many of us, and we can kind of see it because, like you were saying earlier, we geared to the entertainment thing for success.
Yes.
Okay. So what I have here in part of his Black Media Mark activity book, at the very back is an allowance contract. Okay. Now, Jaleel, I'm gonna have you read some of this here now. Okay. So go ahead and start right there. Hit it.
To help teach kids hands-on lessons in
managing
their own money, give kids an allowance, and then put them in charge of making independent decisions about how to spend, save, share, and invest.
All right, stop right there. So right there, give the kids allowances and help them and put them in charge of making independent decisions. However, show them how to spend, save, share, and invest.
Right.
That's values. You know, that's values. And like I said, this book really from 4 to 10 years old.
Right.
And this is the contract right here. I'll go ahead and read a little bit. Have a discussion with your child about the importance of being responsible with money. Then complete the following contract. Review the contract quarterly to make adjustments. These are the items I will be responsible for paying for with my allowance. Excuse me. And write down here the lines in which you can negotiate with your parents. And down there below, based on the list above, my allowance will be blank per week, month, certain one.
Right.
My allowance will be paid on blank day, time of the month. And when I receive my allowance, this is a really important part, put it all in my piggy bank or savings account. Divide it into categories. 10% saving, 10% sharing, 10% investing, 70% spending. And the child's signature and the parent's signature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little nuances like that, we start young. Excuse me. And that's the value system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's a great, matter of fact, a part of Dr. Boyce Watkins' stream of businesses is trying to start Black Hollywood.
Right.
And on December the 26th, they're going to be airing this movie called Happy, I believe it's spelled like Happy Valley, from the Nile River and everything where all civilization came from. And it's going to show how, you know, the money system we know comes out of ancient Africa.
Right.
Okay? The very system we use to this day. And the way people learn how to exchange goods and services and what have you. It comes from our ancestors.
Right.
And it's a value system that, of course, was taught to the children. You know, we don't wait for the kids to get old or grown, if you will, to teach them the value of money and how to save and invest.
Right.
This should be done young, right? And like I said, I harken back to, you know, I'm going to send you it now because I still got them in the top drawer.
You got to do it.
Bunch of checks.
I need that.
And you would sign in cash and I give you your $10 if you rake the leaves, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's a part of the value system. And I'm in this stage of the game that I'm an older parent.
Yeah.
You know, I draw from that. And your other brother, Jaheem. And so it's neat. Now I can pour that energy into this cat here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now, you know, the amazing thing is we all can learn together. Because this is for the family. You know what I'm saying? This is for the family. And, you know, quite frankly, going back to you saying about, you know, what people going to spend their money on, you know, I literally emailed the BMOT session and got them to get a discount this year for the bundles. And I still, you know, trying to get people like, hey, so I have a big order about to go in. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people, well, it's not, well, you know, I ain't got the money. I'm like, well, you know, this is Christmas. And I'm sure besides the G.I. Joe at the Kung Fu Grip, you're going to get that PS5 that costs like $1,000.
Yeah.
But you're talking about something that's not even $100.
Right.
That your child can turn into millions.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett is one of the richest men in America. His father taught him the stock market as a child. You know, he didn't just get passed down money. He knew money, because a lot of people get passed down money still go broke if they don't know how to invest and grow or start a business, become an entrepreneur. You know, these are some great guys, okay, for your kids to learn how to open up that first lemonade stand.
Right.
Okay, wow, it's COVID, you know, things is crazy. However, there are so many online businesses right now a child can get into.
Right.
All our kids got cell phones.
Right.
You know, they can get this stuff. Actually, I think the kids will pick it up quicker than we do.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
they are literal
sponges. See this guy.
We're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break.
Yeah, man.
And we will come right back.
Learning goals.
Right.
Young brothers and sisters will be able to understand why companies have stocks and why people buy stock.
Right.
Stock is a way to gain ownership in a company.
Right.
It is a piece of ownership in a company. Equity is ownership. It is the amount you actually own in something. Stock is formed by imagining a company being chopped into little pieces and selling those pieces to people. companies sell stock at stock exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange, the Chicago Stock Exchange, and the NASDAQ.
Yes, sir.
Stock is a piece of ownership.
You know, and with that, right under the learning goals, the words that matter.
Right.
And those words were equity and stock. Yeah, and he just read it right there from the real deal, like the real deal Jaleel. And the question of the day, and I'm going to ask this question to Jaleel, then I'll ask you, Jabbar, then I'll ask myself. The question of the day, and this is part of the Black Amazing Tomorrow study guide. Why is it important to be an owner or a producer? So, Jaleel, in your own words, why is it important to be an owner?
Come on now.
Why is it important? What could you do if you own something? What? So, let me ask you, do you own your own skateboard? So what do you do with it?
I ride it.
Okay, you do what you want to do with it.
Do
right?
whatever you want to do.
You do whatever you want to do because you own it.
Yeah.
All right? So, sir, why is it important to be an owner and a producer?
Well, shit. I mean, me personally, ownership, at the end of the day, yeah, I feel like kind of crippled in the book. Oh man, that was funny. Ownership is kind of the only thing that matters at the end of the day.
Right.
Because, you know, take somebody, kind of like myself, you work a job, may not necessarily be a 9-to-5 job, but there are certain rules, guidelines, and regulations that you have to follow.
Right.
And with anything in life, we're all different. You're going to have people who don't necessarily agree with those guidelines,
right,
but because they need the money, they're willing to follow those guidelines.
Yes.
So it's all about the importance of ownership. It's all about breaking out of that and establishing your own ideals and establishing your own, you know, environment with your ideals.
Right.
You know, because you may have a better idea than the guy you work for. You may have a better bedside manner. You may have better guideline ideas that could ensure a, you know, I feel like Brandon Marshall, that could ensure a better work environment for people. But because you don't own anything,
right,
you can't do anything.
Right.
So basically the importance of ownership is, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we all need.
Yeah.
It's not even want, that's what we need.
Yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't even add to that because you said it, you know.
Yeah.
But I will just chime in on the producer side. Something that I have been thinking about for a long time. And, of course, it's of the utmost importance. Just like, okay, so Jaleel, what do you own?
A YouTube channel.
A what?
A what?
Speaking to the mic?
The mic is right there, sir. What do you own?
A YouTube channel.
And what's it called?
Jaleel and Daddy 2.0.
Okay, that's important.
That is very important.
That's important. You know what's more important? To produce it. Okay? Ice Cube, all right? Cube Vision. Right? Or production in a general term, you know, do we produce the things that are sold at our local Walmart? Okay, so now when I'm thinking about shopping at Walmart, or like, for instance, I'm going to shout out Honey Pot. Young lady sells her wares is for feminine hygiene. Okay, at Targets.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know, so that's production. Obviously, she owns the company and she produces something that everybody can sell.
Right.
So a lot of times, or most of the time, like you had said earlier, you know, we're geared towards the entertainment part, everything. That's our only means of success.
Right.
We never see like you said, the production behind it. Okay. That's so important because that drives the industry. And that's really a really non-competitive way of going about it because you're behind the scenes. So if your competition is there, it's all behind the scenes. It's it's ways you can get around Because like Les Brown says, even if we got the same idea, I'm gonna still help you try to get yours off the ground.
Right.
You know, one of the main reasons when you go to the store and get a loaf of bread, how many companies sell bread?
Hundreds.
That's right.
Hundreds.
And sometimes it'll just come down to preference. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes it'll come down if you have more product than your competition.
Right.
But, we don't, Marita about to get in the sunbeam behind today. Oh, it ain't like rap wars and bread guys shooting each other. They're all making money.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? So when we think about ownership, we should also think about production.
Right.
Right? It is so important going forward in this very competitive world we are about to face. And I believe that's why, once again, programs like this, the Black Business School offers this, and it's also an online course. I happen to have it, because I want to make sure, we give our children every advantage we can, every leg up, because quite frankly, these are some of the things, these things obviously were not accessible to many black kids growing up.
Right.
My time, yours.
Right.
Even if they were there, we still didn't know quite how to get to it.
Right.
But I got to tell you, and as you know, many other people have had these legs up in the access. Like you said, Warren Buffett, Donald Trump. There's a lot of lessons that Donald Trump's father taught him. That's why he was able to hold on and sustain their family's wealth.
Right.
Whether you like it or not is irrelevant. He's very wealthy. And he never had to work for anybody. Okay? That's the facts. And once again, not an endorsement, y'all. Just using that as an example, because I want my kids, to be like Donald Trump was when he was a kid, and his kids, and other wealthy people's kids. So it's about learning how to generate wealth. It's about learning the new rules of money. It's about not being afraid to step out there. Because the greatest risk we take, people, is never taking a risk. Because you're guaranteed never to succeed if you don't take a risk and at least learning.
Right.
Invest in your education. That's what I got.
Well, this has been a very fruitful and enjoyable and very thought-provoking episode. As always, description will hold all the links to everybody's channel, all the links to that website that you were supposed to. What is that website again?
Well, we got a few of them. We got the first of all, the blackbusinessschool.com. Dr. Boyce Watkins, you can Google that, and you have for the kids the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. That's also a website, the blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. You have the financialworkbooks.com. That'll link you to the Black Business School section, because they have other workbook curriculums for finance, for people out of school, of course. If you want, the online courses are available at the Black Business School. You got, Black Money 101, Black Money 102, Black Money 103. Right. And they all deal with different sections, from stock investing to being a boss to real estate. They just had a real estate seminar this weekend. It was great. At a fraction what it cost. And, like I said, we need to think about, investing in something that's going to really pay something for us forward. Because, like I said earlier, literally about $100 into a bundle could turn your child into a millionaire. A job won't do that. Going to college may not do that. Okay?
There's a term that I heard a while back and it always stuck with me. It's your manager will never pay you enough to live next to him. You will only be paid enough to come back and do the same thing over and over again.
So, Jaleel, do you want to be a business owner, sir? You don't want to be a business owner?
No.
What do you want to be?
His mind will change as the years go on.
So you own Jaleel and Daddy 2.0, right? You a business owner, right? Yeah. Okay, come on now.
Yeah, just be a little bit more confident about it. It's all good.
Yeah. But see, that's why we got to start young.
You got to start young, and all of these things will become more, it'll be easier to access.
Yeah, that was a trick question, by the way. That was a trick question. I'm just saying.
But
let me say, are you a business owner? The mic is right there.
Yes.
Is it mic? Are you?
Oh,
This guy.
work in progress. Work in progress. This is good because this is a visual representation of the struggles that it takes to get to it, because a lot of people may not know if they want to open a business. They may not, be, they may not have the level of gumption to want to get up and get it.
Right.
All of these things can be changed, and I feel as though through these books, through these courses, through the teaching, that a lot of this can be changed.
Right.
And so, with that being said, I really hope you all enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Like I said previously, in the description box will be links to everyone's channel, Instagram pages, and the 2 websites. 2 websites?
2 or 3. I'll get them all to you, sir.
All the websites. So, here again, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Everybody stay groovy, stay cool, and above all else, handle that.